Hey everybody, let's make a really cool dice bag and learn how to do expansions. Our materials today: 16 gauge rings, 1/4 of an inch inner diameter, one 16 gauge ring, 5/16 of an inch diameter, and my favorite Xeron pliers. We're going to start out with 8 rings going around that first larger ring, and then I'm going to put 8 more rings going around that. Now here's where our first expansion is going to come in. I'm going to put 1 ring in between each of these rings. We're going to be adding in expansions of 8. So let's get to that. Let's get that in. Okay, now we have 16 rings going around. Now I'm going to go in and do another round of 16 rings, and there we go. So we have 16 rings going around, and it's time for another expansion row. So I'm going to add 16 more rings, and then I'm going to add 8 more rings evenly spaced. And so now I have a nice expansion row. So I now have 24 rings going around. I'm going to do another round of 24. There we go. And I'm going to keep this up until I get to about 32 rings on this one. I made a nice base. I think 32 is a good size. Look how nice and flat that's laying. It's going to make for a good bottom part of a bag. And that's what you want. Now from here on out, we are just going to keep going around and around with the same number of rings, and that will automatically create the bag. I'm using a speed weaving technique here where I'm actually going to be weaving 2 rings at once. This technique is called raw plus 1. So I'm taking my light purple ring and I'm picking up a dark purple ring with it, and then I'm going to run it through that dark purple and then 2 black rings, close that light purple one up, and then close up that dark purple one up. And then I'm going to keep going around in my color pattern. So I want to just slow that down a little bit so you can see a little bit closer how I'm doing that there. And so then I'm just going to keep continuing doing this all the way around in my color pattern until the whole piece is finished. So let's speed this up because it's a lot of the same thing. So this is hundreds and hundreds of rings in this dice bag. So we're just going to keep going. And yes, I did binge watch Emily in Paris season 2 while I was doing that. Don't judge me. So here we go. We just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Now this one is for a good friend of mine. He had requested black and purple, a good friend that I've known since about 1990. So I'm really excited to make this bag for him. At the end, I did some contractions and made it going into little points to make a nice draw at the top. And now I'm putting a leather cord through that. And then I'm at the end of the cords, or I'm going to string it through like one of those little paracord stoppers, like a little stopper clasp thing there. And at the ends I'm going to add in some scales. Sorry, the camera was bad there. You couldn't see what I was doing. But here's the end product. It closes nicely. It's a little blue under this light, but it is a really gorgeous purple. Purple's hard to video there. And it holds 28 dice. So that is 4 sets of dice.